Hello and welcome. Right, I didn't realise until sort of yesterday's session when I was like editing that how important it was to have the mulch, and it sort of, for me, makes things like this sort of almost redundant because there's such an advantage to going with the ridiculous Dominics. You've got that additional feature that it mulches as well, and I never sort of realised until I looked at the field yesterday and I thought, oh, that's not actually. It's not got a mulch bonus. And I sort of thought, oh, as you do, and I was thinking, well, to me, that's quite important. You know, the fact that you've got that extra bonus as well, it's quite a big advantage. Even if it takes a bit longer, it sort of, to me, makes this really good. But I mean, I realise it's going to take a lot longer, but what I mean is we're not in a rush, so why do we not just set this going like with the traditional work? Now, it does sort of make it probably better to have 2 or 3 of those, and for the price, then to be honest, that's not necessarily a bad thing. Oh, that was not what I meant to do at all. Yeah, so yeah, it's so important to me that we've set that smaller one going now, and it'll just trundle along nicely during the session. So simple it is, but it's sort of then I'm like thinking I don't really want to use that, which is it's a cracking mod, but it is that disadvantage that's you've got to weigh up, haven't you, and think, well, what is important to me really, and that is one of them. So we've really prepped most of our fields. Now then, yes, it's true actually. No. I've just had a thought. It is true. No, I don't know that it's October. We can do barley and wheat right now. We need to do wheat. Yeah. So let's grab that going, and let's for once use. Now I should be modding, and my plan was to go and mod, and then I thought, well, I've been told off by Giants about like, you know, the description and things like that, and I've read the examples, and I've got to be honest, it's a bit ambiguous and confusing. It is. And also the other thing is, one of the first things is that BI Industries, again, it breaks their thing, so I can't do BI Industries. That's not the end of the world. I can remove it and only have it on the content. That's not a problem at all. And use Lizard instead, but it means I've got to completely change all the decals, which it's a bit not very nice. I mean, also, yeah, true, canola. Can we still do canola? Okay, I mean, because that is another one that we can't. We missed the boat last month. Yay, right, okay. My bad. So let's fill this and also get one of the front boxes on. Which is the fertilizer one. That's the specialist, our specialist. Yeah, so I'm a bit gutted. I've sort of got. I always find you've got to process these things. It's not just you can't just. Yeah, that's what another fail instantly, because it's not quite. I did tweak it yesterday, but you see, it's not quite in the field planes. Very particular. Now I do understand. Of course I do. Standards of modding, but obviously the other thing is, it's difficult to do with the tools we're given. Not impossible, no, but it means you've got to go in and out a lot of times to get your things to work exactly, because their Giants are talking exact, you know, like must be this, it's got to be that, are we not allowing this, all that. No, that's not what used to us in the front, is it really? Not for I don't really think you ever need a front box with this cedar. I think, I mean, maybe the monstrous field, if that's the one we were going with, then perhaps that would be not a bad idea. But being as that field's not ready, that one's out of bounds. So then we also, the other thing is it possibly would merge, I think, the field that we wanted next. No, there's still a couple of fields that are, 120 and 118 that we could probably afford 120. We could. So we are. We need to scan that. I might swap my scanner, because obviously when I bought the field scanner, it was the Giants one was the only one available. So right, we don't long grain rice. We want wheat as the one that's, and I will. Did we have wheat on this one last time? doesn't tell you anymore. I think it still shows you. No, I don't think it does. When it's gone to like this, it no longer shows you what it was. Did used to, but not anymore. Right, okay. In that case, we will use... Well, no, I know I was going to clear the stones, but we want a big one if we're going to do it. This is the biggest field apart from the really big field. So let's set this going. It's lowered for the worker. Go. And we will also do... Right, we need to scan that field, don't we? So let's grab the field scanner. Let's grab our specialist, because really this is its job to do all of this type of ancillary type work. Yeah, we'll put some of those legs back up. No, I did put them on, and I tested them on my other PC. So as I said, there's a lot of things that are not working. Now, I have got rid of those visible things inside here. Yeah, it's they're very... I mean, I'm talking very stringent, and I don't sort of know why I failed on my... they said they gave examples, and I've read their modding guidelines. Yeah, it was like watching paint dry, but yeah, I read it. And, right, so what are we doing? Yeah, we're trying to scan. This may be a thing we need to do in the future, but this is automatic that I'm grabbing everything. Yeah, so... oh, that doesn't come off okay, actually. Yeah, so I looked at their guidelines, and they're not exactly... Yeah, I mean, on the map it said about 3 sentences, and I'm like, well, this isn't a map. I mean, I've basically put a very basic description on my mods that says this is whatever it is, and it's made from reclaimed materials. I don't know that it's there. I see it now, I do. So we're chatting, and right, so let's move you out of the way because you're right in the way. Yeah, so it is stringent. Now, I do understand quality control, but some of it goes a bit beyond quality control. Yeah, I mean, I sort of failed on, I think, every single level. The last sort of attempt I did to do it, again, there were no... you've got to have them perfect, as in like that they'll go through a test with no errors. Now, I did have that. No, and I think we've got this one, haven't we? Or have we not? Let's have a quick look. No, we did do that one. It's 120 we need to go grab. It is only tiny as well, so... So I sort of a bit of a kick in the teeth. I've got to process it because I will do it. I will. I've said I will, so I'm going to do it. I don't like saying I'm going to do something and then I'm not. Oh, hang on, we're going to sell this. So I'm like, buy a replacement. Yeah, let's do it properly. I don't want to be losing any cash because I've no doubt we are going to lose some cash over this anyway. Oh, did we check what is in that field? Not. We did not, actually. No, it looks like grass. Oh, of course, yeah, we already did sort of check all of them because the bottom line is that they've all got grass. Because I didn't expect that. Obviously, the one thing I think we saw at the very beginning of this map was the fact that JMGaming didn't have grass anywhere. Now he's got it everywhere, but not through his own thing, but because, like, when I did that... shows the power of scripting. If you do something the game's not expecting, it'll change everything but the thing that you have told it to change, and we've seen the consequences of that. Now everything's a grass field, which is a bit of a pain to say the least. Right, I think we're still left, aren't we? Should be here, I think. Yeah, so I'm not going to do it, but I'm a bit gutted because it's the changes to my mods are sort of extensive. I mean, the BI brand, although obviously, and again, it is fantasy. So what I mean is, it's not it to me. That was, but again, it's their game. Yeah, there is no 30,000. Okay, let's buy Akimobile's version, which is a lot quicker. Please tell me that I didn't know it was the original. This is the one. I think I've actually bought the original. That's mine that doesn't work at the minute. Yeah, we want the 30. The 65 is the one I'm going to buy. And it's changed. You can't do everything at the minute. Let's do it. Okay, Fen Red seems appropriate. And the design color, I think that is the blue. So I think you can go black. Oh, no, you can't. You used to be able to. Now it's just little bits and bobs that are black. So, okay, well, if that's all we can do, it's cardinal colours. Yeah, we only lost £4,000. Not too terrible, really. So it's, yeah, cost us 4 extra thousand to actually do that, which is not the end of the... Oh, no, wrong one. Not the end of the world. Yeah, I think the thing, but not only, obviously they've got a lot of, but also at the minute, the Giants things are breaking my models anyway, so it's not so easy to sort of like do what they're asking, because when using their editor, it's destroying things, so I'm really not sure. It's sort of a very disconcerting, because I'm working with tools that are just not working. And I thought, oh, I'll roll it back. I'll go back to the old editor. Now it's only listing that one. I may have it on my hard drive on my other machine, but it looks to me like Giant's saying, look, you've got to use the new editor. In which case, well, look, it's broken. It doesn't work properly. Not even with your own game. It does damage to files. Again, there's more stringent things on that. I think I need to like read their mod description. Basically, it's got to be perfect. If I was going to like sum up, well, what does it really say within there? I think the other thing that is going to make me come a cropper is the use of the I-10 labeling, which I've seen other modders do. Because again, I'm not sure that I totally understand it. It's very complicated, unduly. I do believe it's grass. You're not going to hurt grass, no matter what you do. You can roll over it to your heart's content. So the way in is here. Right, let's get this done. It's not going to take long, is it? So again, we don't want this as a... Oh, do we want this as a grass field? Instead of the little one. I suppose it actually, that's not a bad idea. When you consider all things. Yeah, I mean, let's be honest, the sheep are big now. I mean, we used to have that little amount for the sheep, but, you know, we thought, oh, yeah, that was okay. Well, it was, but they've now got double the size enclosure. I mean, I know we ran out of grass for no other reason than the fact that, obviously, we couldn't cut the field because the field wasn't a proper... No, yeah, it's going to be one of those quite wasteful jobbies because I can't get the corners. So we need to grab the corners. Hopefully we'll overlap them. Yay. Right, so that's that. That's, no. That looks like a different coloured... a different type as well of it's because this entire field is like that kind of fencing. Right, let's have a look. It's not probably going to be, well, you can't say that. It's all it is. It's got quite a band of silty actually. Yeah, not seen any really nice fields. Can't remember if the farmyard was this set over here was, and the ones that we did over here, 176, 178 and all that type of stuff. So, obviously, we've chosen proper fields. God, it takes a long time. Yeah, we've ordered proper fields. So this is the next one that's going to cost us a lot. Yeah, 320,040. So I do insist we are going to have that field. So the other field we were talking about was 118. 60. No, we can't quite afford it. No, it would skin us too much. I always find that kind of thing is... it seems like a good idea, but you think, yeah, I've got all my... But then you've got to rely on the fact you've got enough seeds and or take loans out and stuff like that. And there's no real need. So let's stick this under cover. Let's start getting our stuff apart from the giant plough, which I don't think there's a shed big enough. I've always done that outside. Yeah, so I am a little bit disconcerted. Especially the I-10 bits was the bit that I'm like, well, I don't really know how to do those, if I'm honest. I don't know that there's a guide. Giants tell you how to do it. There must be somewhere. To be honest, there's a lot of modding that there is no guide for. It's but all the modders obviously have got to do it. Yeah, there can't be any exceptions, I don't think. So it's got to be done right. Yeah, we really do need. Although that grass, we're going to cut the new fields. We have actually done that grass field. Well, we suppose we could though relegate that now to part of the farmyard. If we're going to have a bigger grass field, brilliant. You telling me you finished that field? No, it's this one. Yeah, it's this one has finished. Excellent. Let's just have a look. Actually, I'm quite sure they've done a good job though. Yeah, that looks fairly decent to me. Edges. Let's just have a quick look. These are fairly good. Wow, they did use quite a lot of the. Of this, really? More than it looked like they hadn't quite done this edge right. No, I think it's that bit of like painted ground that's perfect. There's nothing missing there. No, we're all good. Yeah, it's just an optical illusion, I think. So I believe though we probably will need nitrogening, so like we ought to quickly, and also need to run a pH value. Okay, it's 6. So I feel that we need to fertilise and lime. I think we've only got the one fertiliser, haven't we? So we could really do the second for specifically fertilising for when we've used this particular seeder, but you know. So we may have been better to have done the... Yeah, like... Right, okay, let's grab the fence. I can't remember where I did put him. I think he's there. Yep, no. Cider. That's the one we want. Right, so let's grab that. Now, I think we've ploughed everything, which is the plan. And obviously that's, yeah, all done. So let's grab some lime. And let's get it limed first, and then we'll like grab some. It's struggling a little bit with that box, like that. Still a bit. Yeah, I was just thinking, just had a thought. I suppose I could do that. Yeah, with the box, I could actually still extend it straight out above the wheel things. It's a possibility. A stepped box. It's not necessarily a bad idea. I think that's lime. Yeah, it is. Right, I feel a time lapse going on because we obviously with the one we have got to do is got to be that field. Got to be. Alright, so let's fill this because we're soon gonna. Yeah, this is the one thing that's not really right so far. Well, let's just see now, because obviously giants change things all the time. Not necessarily for the better, but they do. Yeah, that needs changing. Now, I tweeted that yesterday. It's still not quite right. The field... Sorry, the field. I'm expecting to read my mind. Right, so then, this is the field we've actually done. So this is the one that we actually need to do. Yeah, what I was saying was that the lime so far, it's... not right. Fracture. It's definitely not caused by heat at the minute, because it's very, if anything, for the first time in a long while, I feel like I could use a jumper rather than cooling down with a fan. So my fans are all silent. There's no buzz, buzz, buzz in the background. But yeah, what I mean is now that actually does seem slower. So before, it was using well too much lime, no matter whether it was really good or not. It just didn't differentiate properly between the lime that you'd got, and it was like very, very fast. Yeah, like, but I don't know if this is slower or not. The colour's still a bit strange, but then this must be a new way of doing it, so... Yeah, so the testing is terribly stringent. but I can see as a quality control. I mean, some of it I can't. Yeah, but then again, I suppose I'm going to say that, because it means, oh, it's more work for me. And it's not really about that. It's the i10 ones, it's literally is the way that they do it. It's, these parameters and things like that. And I just think there's no necessary need for that kind of programmatical. If anything, it's confusing, especially, I suppose, for me personally, when you're a beginning modder, you sort of, I think, need stabilizers. And what did I do? Yeah, the other day I did what I class as a stabilizer, in so much as I'll call them, if I'm going to replace butter, I'll call it butter 1, and like milk, I did milk bottles, all of those sort of thing. And I'm thinking, you don't need to do that anymore. Like that's at the beginning, to help yourself, you did things very simply because you didn't understand completely what was going on, so therefore you made it easier on yourself. It's a unique field type, and call it what you like. You're declaring what it's called now. So I thought, yeah, it's true, really. So I pulled the plaster off. Yeah, I literally yesterday went and changed all of the field types to what I wanted them to be called. It's much easier. So they are now I've called milk with bottled milk M bottle. Not, you won't see it, of course. Inside the game, it's called milk, like bottled milk and things like that. But inside, what I've called it is like what I wanted it to be called. I haven't sort of like gone for an easy option or anything like that. So I'm quite pleased, because it sort of shows you as a modder that you are learning, or you're advancing. Certain things you're doing, that you've learnt a few tricks since when you first started. And I think that's necessary for anything. You're progressing, but I'm just not quite sure. Like anything, I think that what it is the mod was all but ready, but now when I'm reading their guidelines more fully, it's like, oh my life, there's an awful lot of work left to do. Yeah, I mean, the no errors, and some of the the other thing is, a bit like a lot of companies, it's not very, they say you can't have any brands, and then there's other sort of documentation which sort of implies that you can, and I'm like, well, hang on a minute, this is what confused me. I took BI Industries out, but I left it on the branding. Now I realise, obviously, it's true, it's the same thing. You're like sort of on your machinery, you're advertising the BI brand. So really, I just need to take the decal off and leave it as just a black blob. But then it's a bit odd. So in that case, you've got to call it Lizard, which I've just got to embrace the Lizard brand. It is all, really. So yeah, and if I could say it's Lizard, it'll grab the branding automatically. But obviously, inside the Let's Plays, it is going to be whatever it was designed to be. But for the testing and for I've got to rip the BI brand off for everything, which is obviously everywhere because it's all made by BI. But I suppose for myself, obviously, the premise was that it was a tool for the Let's Plays, and that legitimately a proper, it's what I'm sort of calling the BI brand was something that happened in Lone Oak. It is a true storyline. It's not me, I made it up. We did have a cooperative in Lone Oak, and obviously I've used that, and we've made a brand from doing that. So I'm not making it up, it's legit. Right, I suppose what we could do, though, is set him going with a standard work in that field with lime. I'm not sure, though. The workers are really bad with lime. Yeah, they'll use it and do a little tiny run up the field, because they just seem to trundle along really slowly and waste products. So I think if we're going to do this, we need to do it a bit ourselves. Right. Yeah, I do. So I'm going to go into it. I think there's not a lot for us to do, though, at the minute. 120. I think we'll start to do that. Let's just have a look. It will probably be bad. Actually, it's not much worse than ours, really. So pH is not terrible, and fertilizer is. That's the other thing we were going to do, wasn't it? The fertilizer for the 119. So both of those are lousy, which you'd expect them to be. So let's quickly do 117, and then I'm going to fertilize both of them. No, only fertilize the one we need to at the minute. We can do the rest because we probably will plant with the planter. So right, let's set this going. So I'm going to say my words because we've got a fertilizer as well, so it's going to take a while. I'm going to see you guys and gals on the other side. Right, I think that's done that sort of proved to me how wasteful they are, because he was shilly-shallying around like, well, they've done. Why are they like? And they're still. It seems that well, I'm not sure. It's weird with precision farming. There's been a few changes. Then there was an update, and then there wasn't, and then it. What I mean is, it did work, then it didn't work. Then It's very confusing. So, if I make a statement, I might be inaccurate at this precise moment, but it was allowing you to waste. Aha! Wow. Now that is quite impressive. Yeah, that we have finished. Well, Sanja has completed that quite a monumental task of doing that ploughing. So other than a bit of clean-up, really, yeah, we don't want to put that in the way. But as long as we can get to sort of both, there can be a bit of overlap. As long as we can get to the middle section. Right, let's drop that down. So I saw it. I thought, oh, you've got that fantastic bit of kit. So why don't you go and use it? So really, other than the cleanup, that's quite an impressive bit of work, because it is a big field. It is. The other thing is, I'm not 100% sure whether I would like to test my flapping my lips, because in my head, I've got to be honest, and I have done a lot of cotton. There is no excuse for me. I think I was thinking that the bales were 50,000 litres. They're only 20. So actually, it may well be that the amount of bales we would have got for that was about 4 or 5, which I don't think that's too far off for that kind of field. So I might be talking nonsense, because I got in my head the wrong amount, because I was thinking 50,000. It's not, it's 20. So I again, what the bales that I was expecting from the field is pretty much what I said, as in, like what we got. So I'm not sure it's wrong, but I'd like to test this after the Mark Thor debacle in FS22, where I really did think it was the best thing since sliced bread. Don't get me wrong, it was good with most things, but potatoes was not one of them, and I didn't realise at the time. So I was using it everywhere, as you do with my potatoes, and then it was only on that one session that I thought, and again, it was a subconscious thought. It was like that feeling that something's not quite right. I was thinking, I'm not sure, but I don't think that was what we should have got. And then obviously I checked back on the footage from the year before, and it was 300 tons, and we'd only got 100 tons the year after with Mark Thor. So I thought, well, that is a sizable difference, very sizable. But no farmer's going to be prepared to lose 2/3 of the crop to use a snazzy new tool, because you'd change your opinion on the snazzy new tool if it's going to break your crop. Yeah, I mean, let's be honest, you live and die by that. If it wrecked 2/3 of your crop, which it did, you can think, well, no, it's not a good tool for the job, is it? That's not a bad effort at all. Yeah, very little. But to be honest, we could have got away with not doing the not so much stone on this as well. This looks, to me, it was I think JMGaming may have done something, because this is how I would expect stone to be, whereas before it was everywhere, literally everywhere, almost all around you. You could not avoid. Whereas this is the kind of field where you could sort of do my driving in circles bits, because you could sort of grab it by doing that type of thing, by following the contours, because you don't need to do that whole field normally, but on JMGaming's map you did, because it was everywhere, whereas this is not quite so sort of bad. So that was a good session, I think. I'm quite pleased with that. So I may well get on with my modding later. I might, when I've the save it malarkey. Yeah, stick this. Yeah, and the other thing is, I'm a little bit unsure as to whether the case is going to work. The corn header's going to work after we had such a spectacular fail with the case standard header, whether the fittings are slightly different in game, so therefore the Massey doesn't particularly like them. Ooh, now this does need a bit of fuel, doesn't it? It's a bit low. Let's have a bit of fuel, I think. I've got to pay a bit better attention to this. I have got that fuel indicator though when you go low, because yeah, Wow, was quite a lot really for a tractor to have that much. Oh, I forgot we've filled him, haven't we now? Right, so we should see, yes, the nitrogen. I think we did the nitrogen on that, which is why it looks a bit bizarre. So nitrogen, no, we did it with the Prolatus, I think. I think we did. I'm sure we did. Right, so Europe limes. We haven't put anything in, but it is at least a lime for now, and you've totally used it, even though you'd done it well before that. I was looking across, I was thinking, you've done it. There's nothing that needs white, but it was still trundling along with its finger on the fertilizer button. I think secretly that Giants must gain money from the amount of like wasted fertilizer and lime on the. No, I'm only kidding, but yeah, it does seem like there's a motive to waste stuff on by the worker. I think we definitely do need another. Yeah, we're a bit low on funds again though because we bought that other field, and this is what I'm a terror for this. On a start from scratch, I've got to get better at like thinking I need some sheds. It's the most important thing now because I think, oh well, yeah, we need a field, we need a tractor. Oh, I'll allow for that, but I won't allow for the. You know, like that we need another shed. Because I'm like, oh, well, yeah, but we all my life. But it's not what I expected to happen. I've got to give it quite a bit of space for the unfolding and the... I can go there. No, that doesn't need a lot of unfolding. Now, you could technically, but I have actually got the same farm fence farm compact on the back of that because it looks a bit bad because it could do with a bit of extra support. So I have actually done that, but it's disappeared on this computer again, so I don't know what that is about. Right, so it's nice to see this. It's a long time so I haven't used them. Yeah, so all of these signs, all of them on everything have got to go. I mean, I don't know that I'll replace it with lizard. Could do a crafting. I could actually do a lizard with lizard in the middle instead of BI, and then it's just changing rather than eradicating. I could have a go at this. I wonder if Giants would allow you artistic license with the lizard. That's an interesting thought. It is. Well, we'll have a go later. Yeah, I mean, because it's still a lizard brand. It's just that I mean, we're going to stick to pretty much, but like a bit of artistic license. We shall see whether we get away with it. It's probably not a bad thing. Right, so we're still in the month of October. We have planted our field of quite a large field of that. We have... Yeah, that actually looks about right. The grass looks like it's actually been nitrogened. And the pH was not so terrible. It doesn't look that much different to mine. So, in fact, all of the pHing on these look all fairly decent, apart from this one, which looks a little bit ropey. And that's going to take some liming. We need something like the bread oil. If we're going to have big fields like that, we need... now, I've got... Actually, I know what we're going to grab. We can't afford it right now, but we will... I think we're going to go through till tomorrow morning. We shall. I'd like to just get some... Yeah, because we have done everything, and we've completely done that field. It shouldn't have weeds. At least I think we... No, we did plough it. We definitely ploughed that one with a massive plough, so it won't have the mulch bonus, but it still nevertheless was ploughed. So that should be fine. We'll see what we get in the sales. And, yeah, a little bit... Oh, loan interest. Well, we did, didn't we? We took those. Oh, we might as well get them both. Yeah. No, we did actually do it properly. So... We'll sell those both. Yes, I know what we're having. I have used it only once. But it is a very... Now then, I think we can get over this. This is a tool I never ever intend ever using again, the Ridge Maker, because it's it does a worse job. It's sort of like If you don't use a ridge maker, it's nice and easy to actually use, and you can see where you've been. But if you use a ridge maker, it makes things hard for you, and you can't see where you've been. Now, that to me is a bit of ridiculous. So I'm not sure if my front one will be like not visible. Oh, and it's also going to be a... I did think that. Yeah, it's also going to be a bit wobbly now. Oh, mind you, no, he ain't, because I can drop it now. Yeah, that's what... If you like have it on when he sells it, he still thinks he's got it on. Yeah, I never ever intend on using a ridge maker ever again, because in the game it makes things very hard for you to see where you've been, because it's sort of like a reverse tool that's better if you... Yeah, if you've not... If you don't use it, it's harder if you do. It's... I mean, which is the one thing that's difficult to do? Weeding is difficult. If you do it preemptively, it's difficult for you to do, but you know that... You know you can do it, so sometimes I'll try it and I'll preemptively do it, because I know obviously legitimately in real life, if you was like a week or 2 weeks down the road, there would be weeds that you could see, but the game can't show you that, so therefore you're not really weeding nothing, you just can't see the weeds yourself. You know, in reality the weeds would be there, so I understand that. But like the ridge creator is almost like someone didn't even think about the fact that, well, I need to see where I'm going, and you can't. It's yeah. I tried it on Rizu Forest earlier, and I thought, oh, we got it in the sales. Let's buy it for a change, and we use it. Well, I was only 2 minutes in, and I thought, well, this was a bad idea. Who thought this was clever? You know, like who designed this? It's really terrible. It is. I concur. Right, so that is where we're going to leave it. We're up to 167,421 pounds. Yeah, well, I'm actually on, Lady Hill. There's no point now in me changing that back. Yeah, definitely not. We are doing well, though. I'm quite pleased with our progress on the map, because we are buying... I mean, when you consider we started with that little field, and then we bought that one, which was as morphed at different times into another field, but now it's back to a proper farmyard with no... Yeah, so now we're up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fields. As I said, there's 118 and 100 is my goal. Could buy those ones too. We shall see. Yeah, I mean, we shall see what we see. Definitely. I'm looking forward to seeing this. Now, the other thing is there anything we should be selling this month? It is November. Let's have a look. Is there anything that stands out as... Clothes are yellow, so no, we're approaching the close. The cellulose acetate is... I think that is the cotton one. But yeah, these are looking quite good. These are all January. So rope is on green, so we're selling 10 tons of that. That is going to bring in quite a lot of cash. The straw is also January, and they're not looking good at the minute. But again, we are heading towards the bits where this little lot is worth its most in January. So almost all of our stuff is January. So, which we know it's we'll cash in a few months, and we shall see how well we actually did do. I reckon we'll easily be able to afford the big field that we're after. I do. And then obviously the other thing is, if I just go to farmland, we own that massive section at the top as well, and that little corner down there, and that bit of land that we could never quite get the headland on 115, because it borrows from this field here. So at that point, and then that bit of land where I tried to put the production silo, it wasn't our land, because it's this field's land. Yeah, you can see it's like missing. So again, we will own all of that land all the way up to there. So we might actually change the field shape, and then I like 88 as well. Oh, that's got quite a bit of loam. So is that one actually. So that one, I'm interested. This one's got quite a bit of loam, which is quite nice. It's still not only 99% yield potential, but still it's a big field, so it's going to have plenty of yield. So yes, I reckon we're going to do that throughout the winter, and hopefully we'll pick up the odd. Yeah, we still do need to widen out a bit. We've not got anything like. I know I don't use them very often, but something like a roller, it would be nice. Either a team of Ozdokens. It's not a bad idea because they're very, very. Yeah, I've sort of kept. It's a couple of roller sets. Now, obviously, sometimes you get the brands in the sales. I mean, that makes short work of almost all but those very, very large fields. There's a few ones that I think it's the Osdoken. It's a 9.5 meter and it's only 12,500. It really is quite amazing. That's good, but it's tiny. I mean, comparatively. I mean, they've got also got our 27.7 for the 12.3, but I've got to be honest, actually, the Osdoken's still better value. It really is. Yeah, and that's slightly more than ours, slightly for a 12.3. And then there's this which represents good value too. All three of those are not bad. But again, it's for the tiny bit of a gain, you've got to ask yourself the question, is that, yeah, I mean, that's 12,500. So for 25,000 you could actually have a 19-meter spread, so really it represents better value than all of these. It's just that it's going to cost you more to use them. So to be honest, unless you've got something like that monster or that monster in the sales, then really, I mean, I think the brand definitely represents better value anyway than the Dalbo that's come back in. But I think we've probably all got used to it, which is why someone's modded it again. And yeah, I think that's not bad value, even as it is. It makes more sense. If we got that in the sales, that would be quite good because it's sort of like three of those in one machine, and that's sometimes more useful than like a team of these because it's easier to like. But the thing of like the Osdoken is you could like buy them and do what we've sort of done and just set the workers going in the background, one on per field. Mind you, can't really do that, can you? No, not with rolling. That's what rolling's one of those weird things that you've got to sort of finish it within a session, and that's often what defeats me. I think, I've not got time to do that. It's not going to work because I've not got time to do the roller. So I sort of, it's out of the picture of tools that I need because I think, well, it's only a tiny bonus anyway. If it was a 5%, you might think, maybe I could do it for that, but like 2.5%, like I think I could afford to lose that for the how good in the time these two of our workers walked past in the last 2 minutes. Right, anyway, yes, all that remains to be said is thank you very much for watching. Truly do hope you're going to stick with me on this journey, and I'm going to say goodbye for now.